Live from Baumhower's Victory Grille in Tuscaloosa, welcome to Hey Coach on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Hey Coach is presented by Alfa Insurance. You do your thing. We've got you covered. Hey Coach is also brought to you by Everwood, the official treated lumber of Alabama athletics. Ford, get the job done right in a Ford F-150, the smartest F-150 ever. Raise your game and visit your local Ford dealer. Proud sponsor of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Toyota, visit your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy, and buy. McMurray Van. Rent local with McMurray Van and Car Rental. We offer the perfect vehicle for any need. Proudly serving Alabama. Visit us today for a hassle-free rental experience. Now, live from Baumhower's Victory Grille in Tuscaloosa, this is Hey Coach.
Roll Tide, and welcome to Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance. Auto, home, life, and business. Alfa Insurance covers it all. AlfaInsurance.com. Roll Tide, and hello again, everybody. This is Roger Hoover. Great to be with you tonight in Tuscaloosa. I'm here because Chris Stewart and Tom Stipe, they're traveling with the men's basketball team. You heard on the show last week that the Crimson Tide decided to go from Fayetteville, where they were on Saturday against the Arkansas Razorbacks. They decided to go ahead and just stay on the road, travel to Austin, Texas, to prepare for tomorrow night's tilt with the Longhorns. We will be talking basketball coming up later in the show, as Chris Stewart sat down earlier today with Nate Oats for a one-on-one conversation. Again, you'll hear that in our second half hour of the show. They'll look back at the Arkansas win and preview what's ahead this week with Texas and, of course, Saturday's top 5 showdown. You could say top 2 showdown, or a couple of number 1 teams meeting, Alabama and Auburn, coming up on Saturday here in Tuscaloosa. But most of our show will focus on baseball this evening. Alabama starting the 2025 season coming up on Friday with the start of a 3-game series against the Bradley Braves at Sewell Thomas Stadium. So tonight we'll preview the season. First, we'll be joined by Alabama first baseman Will Hodo, as well as pitcher Riley Quick, to get their thoughts on what's ahead from the players' perspective. And then we'll be joined by the head coach of the Crimson Tide, Rob Vaughn, as he gets ready for his second year at the helm of this proud baseball program. If you'd like to ask our guest a question tonight, just give us a call on the McMurray Van and Car Rental hotline at 877-202-BAMA. You can rent local with McMurray Van and Car Rental. We offer the perfect vehicle for any need. Proudly serving Alabama. Visit us today for a hassle-free rental experience. So much going on around Crimson Tide athletics, so we certainly hope you can join us for another weekly show here on the network, Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. That is streaming live Thursday afternoons, 2 p.m. Central, on all CTSN social media platforms at UA_CTSN. Speaking of busy, if you're coming to a men's or women's basketball game or gymnastics meet at Coleman Coliseum, make sure you stop by any merchandise stand to purchase your limited edition Yeti tumbler. Our newest Crimson Tide themed Yetis are only available at Coleman Coliseum during home events while supplies last. Yeti is a proud partner of the Alabama Crimson Tide. And while you're trying to keep up with everything that's going on here at the Capstone, make sure you stay tuned to the Alabama Crimson Tide mobile app. It's presented by Cadence Bank. Available at the App Store and Google Play. Download the Alabama Crimson Tide mobile app now for free. You're listening to Hey Coach from Baumhower's Victory Grille, the official watch party location of the Crimson Tide. It's time to talk some baseball. Will Hodo and Riley Quick will join us next. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Your moment has arrived. It's time to shed the normal day-to-day version of yourself and let your most fabulous self loose. Make your way to Wind Creek Wetumpka, because whatever your idea of fabulous is, this is where you'll find it. Wind Creek Wetumpka. It's your kind of fabulous. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Don't let pests invade your home this season. Give them the full court press by calling Cook's Pest Control. Cook's proven pest control methods and Centricon termite control system protect your home from unwanted pests and are backed by a 110% guarantee. Nobody is more thorough, courteous, or on time, except maybe me, Mark Sears. Trust Cook's Pest Control, the South's most trusted name in pest control for over 90 years.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie, Cook's Pest Control.
CB&S Bank has a long history of stability and a legacy of serving our community's needs for generations. You could say we know a thing or two about tradition. We've been family, community, and financially strong since we began in 1906. Being a team player is part of our culture. That's why at CB&S Bank, we're proud to sponsor the University of Alabama Athletics and prouder to take the field or court with you. Visit cbsbank.com today. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
When the game is on the line, you want someone you can count on. At Alabama Power, we believe in consistency and having each other's back. It's our game plan to safely deliver the electricity you depend on. We give 100% to achieve 99.9% reliability. Learn how we power a better Alabama at alabamapower.com/reliable. Alabama Power is a proud supporter of the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Hey parents and kids, AEA has unveiled a new contest at your school that lets you count your way to the Iron Bowl of basketball. AEA wants to help K-6 students be academic champions just like the Alabama Crimson Tide. Students who participate in the Be a Champion and Count Challenge could win tickets to the February 15th Alabama vs. Auburn basketball game at Coleman Coliseum. Ask your teacher about contest rules, encourage your child to be an AEA math champion, and win a trip to the Iron Bowl of basketball.
Hey there, everybody. Bob Baumhower here, letting you know that we understand that times are tough and we truly believe value matters. So, by popular demand, we brought back our Inflation Bites menu featuring scratch-made meals that will make the whole family smile, and your wallet, too. Menu items start at just $7.99, and any entree comes with a free beverage. Try our classic tailgate burger for just $8.99, or our hearty Bam Bam chicken platter for $9.99. Baumhower's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
This segment of Hey Coach is presented by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and irresistibly tasty. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Why don't you try and decide? We're talking baseball. The 2025 season will start on Friday for the Crimson Tide at home against the Bradley Braves. And this is Roger Hoover. Now, please be joined by two of the stars for this upcoming team. First of all, first baseman Will Hodo. Give Will a round of applause. Now, in his senior season from Waynesboro, Mississippi. And then here from Trussville, Alabama, of course, we've got Riley Quick, an outstanding right-handed pitcher that we got to see a little bit on opening weekend last year. But fortunately, Riley had an injury after that. You've been rehabbing hard. How much are you ready to go for this weekend and what we're going to see from you this season?
I'm really excited. It's obviously been a while since I've been out there in like a real game setting, but I'm fired up. I've put in a lot of work over the past year, and I'm just ready to get back out there and just do my thing again.
Will, I mentioned you're now a senior on this baseball team. Does that even register with, has it gone by quickly, how fast your time's been here in Tuscaloosa?
It's going by like the blink of an eye. I mean, they say time flies when you're having fun. I didn't realize that to the fullest extent until I got here. It's flown by.
Yeah, like a lot of home runs we've seen fly out of the ballpark for you. Just first of all, Will, tell me about the roster from a position player standpoint. Who have been some hitters that have really impressed you on this team?
I could talk about that for the whole time we're going to be on. Just going off of like our scrimmages the past couple of weeks, we've had a ton of freshmen showing out. Sean Griggs, John Young Jr., guys that are going to help us this year. And then transfers like Garrett Staten from Sanford, Jason Torres from Miami, and Brennan Norton. They've all been smashing the ball. They're primed up and ready to go for this weekend.
We certainly look forward to that. And for you, Riley, again, there's been just so much work trying to get back to this point and healthy, but you get the unique perspective. You get to face some of these hitters. They've been a pretty tough challenge the last few weeks.
Oh, yeah, they're dialed in. They're ready to go. It's definitely Coach Vaughn and Coach Papp, they do a great job like getting the hitters scouting reports and getting them ready for everything. So it's a tough challenge on us, and when we succeed, we feel good because like we know that they're ready for us. But, yeah, they look well. They look really good.
Well, enjoyed watching you pitch last year, that one game you had against Manhattan, then again the unfortunate injury. But after that, I enjoyed watching you as well in the dugout. You were the most fired-up guy in that dugout, game in, game out. I mean, Will, you had to crack up watching him sometimes in his celebrations as Coach Vaughn's trying to rein him in.
Absolutely. I mean, this dude he brought the energy last year, no doubt about it.
That's good. And that's
like
how you felt, right?
I could do, so I was like, I might as well do it good.
Well, it's all due to your passion, Riley, for getting to pitch for the University of Alabama. Your brother played football here. I mean, just how much has it meant to you to wear that crimson jersey and represent this school?
It means a lot. Like you said, my brother played football here, so that's obviously a big piece of it. But, I mean, I've always grown up a huge Bama fan, and I've watched Bama baseball and Bama football for a while, so it definitely means a lot wearing the A.
Well, we're certainly excited to see you and what's coming up this year. I asked Will about some of the position players. How about on the pitching side? Who's really been standing out? Who do you like watching their bullpens?
The staff looks great. We got a lot of young arms that look good. We've got some transfer guys that look good. I think the big thing this year is, like, we've just got a lot of different looks, like we've said earlier. Like, we got guys that can come in lefty situations, righty situations, and we got, like, 3 front-end guys that should be really good. But, the staff looks good. Like, you got a bunch of transfers that look good. JT Blackwood, he's a transfer from JUCO that looks really good. And then some young guys that look really good too, but I think we're in a good spot for sure.
Now, this is year 3 for you in the program, year 3 getting to work with Jason Jackson. Just how much has he helped you, your associate head coach and pitching coach here at Bama?
He's done a lot. He's done a lot for me. Unfortunately, the past 2 summers I've had an injury that I've been rehabbing or something, so me and him have been able to stay here the whole summer together and go through that together. But he's been awesome. He's been somebody I can lean on when I need it, and he's helped me through a lot for sure.
Now, Will, you're part of the offense that we keep hearing called the PAC offense. Explain to our fans what the PAC means.
PAC means just like nobody's bigger than anybody else. We all run together, and what we do is the result of everybody. It's not the result of one person. That's really all it is, just not making anybody bigger than anybody else.
That's certainly good to see, and we get to get ready to be back at Sewell Thomas Stadium. Will, how much have you enjoyed the home atmosphere we've kind of built here in Tuscaloosa? We keep getting more season tickets. Ballpark continues to be more filled, and you've seen it at its best, really, throughout your Alabama career.
Yes, sir. Last year there were a lot of games that were comparable to the regional games that we hosted, Riley's freshman year, my sophomore year, and just playing in the atmosphere like that, it gives a competitive edge to us. So when fans show up, it makes a huge difference.
And that really fuels you at the plate. How about on the mound?
Oh, it definitely makes a difference for sure. I mean, I've thrown in places like Arkansas and Baton Rouge where you go in and you got 15,000 other people yelling at you, and it definitely makes a big difference for sure when those guys are yelling for you.
That's certainly good. So, again, the Crimson Tide open up the season coming up this week against the Bradley Braves, and then you're on the road to Jacksonville. Gets to play in a AAA ballpark. Are you excited for that challenge coming up next week against some really good teams?
Yes, sir. Absolutely excited about it. Just getting to go to somewhere else and play against 3 different teams in a weekend is something special in itself that you don't really get to do a lot. Like playing in Frisco last year was super cool because you get to see 3 different offensives, 3 different pitching staffs all in one weekend. So I think it'll be a blast again.
Yeah, it's an outstanding atmosphere. And is it easy to do you try to stay patient as you can with some of the early moments in the season, or is SEC play kind of always on your mind knowing it's only 4 weeks away against Texas A&M?
I would say you just kind of stay patient and just stay the course. I mean, it's a really long season, and there's going to be so many ups and downs. Like, there's no reason to really, like, get ready to SEC play. Like, you know it's coming. You just stay the course, take it game by game, and you look up, and it'll be there, and you'll be ready to go.
Everybody talks about how competitive SEC football is. Men's basketball, women's basketball has gotten a lot of conversation, but you guys know playing in SEC baseball, this has to be one of the toughest sports. I mean, top to bottom, every team you play capable of going to a regional and winning one, right, Will?
Absolutely. I'm not sure how many years in a row it is, but the national champion's been from the SEC for at least 3, 4, 5 years. So, I mean, I think that says it in itself right there.
Well, it's going to be a great season coming up for the Crimson Tide. We're going to preview with Coach Vaughn coming up in just a moment. Kind of along those lines, anything I should ask him? He's not listening right now.
I can't think. Hold on. I can get him on something.
Something that'll make him laugh coming up.
Ask him if he's working on base running.
Okay, we'll definitely do that. That's certainly good. Well, before we let you guys go, again, just what do you hope the fans see from the Crimson Tide this year? I'll start with you, Riley.
I hope that they see just like a tough group out there, a group that like they love watching play, just a group full of energy and just a lot of competitors out there.
Will?
Right along those lines. I hope they see a team out there that's not going to give in to anybody. They're going to go out there and just grit their teeth and go toe-to-toe with anybody who steps on the field with them.
It's going to be an exciting year. Alabama baseball starting coming up later this weekend against Bradley. Guys, just thank you for the time, and Roll Tide. Best of luck starting the season.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
That's Will Hodo and Riley Quick of the Alabama baseball team. Coming up in just a moment, we'll be checking in with their head coach, Rob Vaughn. But before we go to break, I wanted to ask you, if you love Baumhower's chili, well, you're in luck. Baumhower's Victory Grill now serving special dishes with their signature BB's house-made chili, including chili cheese nachos, a char-grilled chili cheese potato stack, and, of course, loaded chili cheese fries. Baumhower's legendary fun and legendary food. Also, fans, if you love behind-the-scenes stories from softball head coach Patrick Murphy, you don't want to miss the weekend warm-up. It's coming up on select Fridays this season. It's inspired by Nick at Noon. The softball edition will be coming up here at Baumhower's Victory Grill. It features a lunch buffet, Alabama softball bingo, panel with Team 29 players and alumni, plus unforgettable insight from Coach Murphy. Check out Alabama softball's social media pages for more details. Again, we're talking baseball tonight on Hey Coach, and when we come back, we'll be joined by the head coach of the Crimson Tide, Rob Vaughn. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Domino's delivers game day across Tuscaloosa and the surrounding area. Locally owned in Tuscaloosa for 30-plus years, the team at Domino's is proud to be a supporter of Alabama basketball and athletics across the capstone. Domino's would like to thank our customers for supporting our local business for over 30 years. Make Domino's your choice on game days year-round. Domino's is proud to deliver your Alabama Crimson Tide game days anytime. Just visit RollDominoes.com. Thanks for your business and Roll Tide.
See the call as we make the call. Watch the Courtside Cam, presented by NASCAR, for each Alabama home basketball game. Streaming live on all CTSN social media platforms, you can get a front row seat to every big play and every reaction from the Alabama radio crew for men's and women's basketball. Watch on YouTube, Facebook, and X at UA_CTSN.
Wide open 9, left corner 3. Switch!
Barkley makes it easy.
Get ready to rev up your engines and feel the excitement at Barkley Buick GMC Cadillac. We've got the perfect ride to match your style and adventure. Visit us at our showroom at Skyland Boulevard and let our friendly team help you find the vehicle of your dreams. Barkley Buick GMC Cadillac, where hometown pride and unbeatable deals collide. Drive with passion with Barkley. Visit us today or check us out online at barclaygmc.com.
Barkley makes it easy.
Hey, Bama fans. Tuscaloosa Drug Company is a proud supporter of Crimson Tide Athletics. We've been serving our community and the University Athletic Department for over a decade. There are 3 locations in the Tuscaloosa and Northport area to serve you. We understand the importance of prompt and efficient service. That's why we strive to provide service that you can rely on, where we know you by name. The next time you have a medication need, call who the Tide calls, Tuscaloosa Drug.
The Alabama Insider Podcast is the official podcast of Crimson Tide Athletics. Catch full episodes of Hey Coach and the Kalen DeBoer Show, Crimson Tide Rewind, Crimson Tide Today Daily Reports, plus full interviews from Crimson Drive driven by NASCAR. Download and subscribe to the Alabama Insider Podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, and all podcast platforms. Roll Tide with the Alabama Insider Podcast.
Looking to make a statement? Fast Signs of Tuscaloosa is where you can make your statement. With our incredible range of signs and graphics, you can say anything, do anything, be anything. So make your statement with Fast Signs. Stop in today or visit fastsigns.com. A proud partner of Alabama Athletics. Let's create something amazing together.
And welcome back to Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance. We continue with you live inside Baumhower's Victory Grill in Tuscaloosa. This is Roger Hoover. Now please be joined by the head coach of the Crimson Tide baseball team, Rob Vaughn. Coach, Roll Tide.
Yeah, Roll Tide. Happy to be here.
It's opening week. The Crimson Tide have been working out the last few weeks here in the winter, getting ready for what starts on Valentine's Day. Just how excited are you that this week is finally here?
Well, you call it the winter, man. It was 80 degrees a couple of days ago. This is why we came to Alabama. No, it's been a good couple weeks of work, and it's crazy how fast it moves. I feel like these kids just got here in August, and we turn around here in about 4 days and line up against somebody else and go to work. So, like our guy said, ton of hard work's gone into it, but the boys are ready. We're healthy. Guys feel good, and now it's time to go strap it up against somebody else.
Of course, last year around this time we talked about as well what was getting ready for a bit of an unknown for you. Your first year here at Alabama competing in the SEC. Just between now and then, what'd you learn about what it's like to coach at this program specifically?
Yeah, I think you just have a better idea of what you're walking into. You know, I think last year I'd played SEC teams throughout my career, but nothing quite prepares you for the 10 straight weeks, day in and day out grind of the SEC. And I think our guy said a minute ago, this league's how can you take a punch? Man, you're going to get knocked down. Can you get yourself back up? How quick can you get yourself back up? And that's what the name of the game is. So you feel a lot more prepared year two. I feel like doesn't mean you're better, doesn't mean you're worse, but you feel like you know what you're looking for. I know where I feel like we're ready right now. I feel like I know where I think we need to continue to grow and make some strides, and these boys are working their tails off every day to do it.
How'd that knowledge really help you build this roster? Because baseball now, year to year, the roster is changing a lot in college baseball.
Yeah, man, it's college athletics in general is just in a different spot than it was 5 years ago, and I think you have one or two options. You either sit here and feel bad for yourself and reminisce about the good old days, or you adapt, learn, and grow and figure out what's next, and that's what we've tried to do. So, you know, I think what we really try to do, I really love coaching kids with an edge. That's something that I've always loved doing. When I spent that time at Maryland, we went up to New York City a lot, went to Philadelphia a lot, we went to Baltimore a lot. I wanted some kids that just had some toughness and an edge to them. And so we went and recruited that. We recruited some guys that we felt like had a little bit of that. I love coaching kids that somewhere at some point in their career were told they're not good enough. And you know, that's why we love some of these JUCO kids. We love guys that have had to kind of go through that grind and that failure and that struggle because there's no entitlement. They're super grateful to be at a place like this, super grateful to be in a town like this, at a university like this. And that's what we really tried to do, is really recruit the identity, the makeup of this team, knowing that we can help navigate some of the other stuff. And I think, you know, between JJ, Pap, and Mo, they did an unbelievable job doing that. We got a lot of awesome kids that get after it, but, man, those dudes like to compete, and they've got an edge on the field.
Did you see the edge like you wanted it in fall baseball? Because that's all about competition.
Yeah, you know, and I mean, shoot, I think that's what you always look for. You know, there's so many guys that treat, especially preseason, as we're going through the motions. You know, we're going to get our at-bats, we're going to throw our pitches, we're going to do this. Man, at the end of the day, like this is a training arena. You know, we need to get in here and compete. We need to get in here and get after it. And shoot, we had two guys getting after each other in the 10th inning of a scrimmage yesterday. Like, that's not normal, and that's awesome. Like, that's what this team needs. That's what I want this team to feel, and I don't want them to be afraid to play with an edge. We're not going to cross the line, but we're going to walk right up to that line because that's what the best do.
When we come back, we'll start to break down the roster with Coach Vaughn as we get ready for the start of Alabama baseball season. Do want to mention that the Everwood Performance of the Week goes to Alabama softball freshman Audrey Vandegrift, who set a new Crimson Tide single-game stolen bases record with 5 in Sunday's run rule win over Western Michigan, 14-5 in 6 innings. Vandegrift is the first Alabama player to steal 5 bases in a game, passing the old record of 4, which was last met by Alyssa Brown back on February 21st, 2021 at Alabama State. Crimson Tide's 10 stolen bases ties the single-game record previously set back on February 9th, 2013 against Green Bay. And that is the Everwood Performance of the Week, brought to you by Everwood, wood treated right. If you'd like to ask any of our coaches or guests a question tonight, just give us a call on the McMurray Van and Car Rental Hotline at 877-202-BAMA. Rent local with McMurray Van and Car Rental. We offer the perfect vehicle for any need. Proudly serving Alabama. Just visit us today for a hassle-free rental experience. More with Coach Vaughn when we return. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
When the game goes into overtime, but the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Let's huddle up and make things happen with the only cards for T-Town. The University of Alabama Regions Visa Debit Card and Prepaid Regions Now Card. They're a win for your wallet and a big roll tide, whether you're purchasing stuff for game day or every day. Want to go all in on confidently showing your Tide pride? Order your card now at regions.com/GoBama. Regions, official bank of the SEC. Member FDIC. Terms, conditions, and fees apply.
I'm Coach Nate Oats, and this is the Ford F-Series Highlight Show. Talk about an outstanding lineup. Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty deliver impressive power and game-changing capability. That's why I'm a fan of Ford F-Series, America's best-selling truck for 47 consecutive years. For the latest offers on a Ford truck, go to buyfordnow.com or visit your local Ford dealer. Proud sponsor of the Crimson Tide. Roll Tide.
Based on 1977 to 2023 CY industry reported total sales.
Being a Chevron car these days has been quite the adventure. Miami to Seattle, ocean to ocean. I've stopped at so many states and collected so many bumper stickers. Sometimes I feel like a moving passport book. It's just so great what I can do with Chevron with Techron, because it gives me unbeatable mileage and keeps my engine clean. Plus, there are so many Chevrons along the way. Now the only thing I'm worried about is where to go next and where to put all my new bumper stickers. Chevron with Techron, fueled by possibility.
If you're looking for the best selection in Crimson Tide apparel, look no further than the Soup Store. The Soup Store is every Bama fan's ultimate destination for the hottest gear and accessories, with 3 great locations around campus to serve you: in Tuscaloosa on campus at the University Student Center, on the Strip in front of Bryant-Denny Stadium, and on Bryant Drive. If you can't get to Tuscaloosa, shop the Soup Store online at soupstore.ua.edu. The Soup Store is a proud partner of Alabama Athletics.
Coleman Coliseum gives the Tide a big home court advantage. When it comes to your home, count on Tri-Green Equipment to give you a big advantage with our lineup of John Deere equipment and tried and true expertise. We'll help you call the right plays on your property, and we're always there when you need an assist. From riding mowers, compact utility tractors, gators, to agriculture equipment, we've got serious game. Stop by one of our locations or visit TriGreenEquipment.com. Proud sponsors of Alabama Crimson Tide basketball.
This segment of Hey Coach is presented by Homewood Suites by Hilton in downtown Tuscaloosa. Make yourself at home, stay in comfort, and enjoy all the great options of the on-site 205 restaurant and bar. Homewood Suites by Hilton in Tuscaloosa, a proud preferred hotel partner of the Crimson Tide. Go ahead and book those hotel rooms to be here this spring for some Alabama baseball, as we're going to talk about the schedule coming up in a moment as we continue our conversation with Coach Vaughn. But first of all, Coach, wanted to start to break down the roster a little bit, and we'll kind of go around the diamond, starting with your catcher position.
Yeah, I mean, we've got 2 good ones back there. You know, you got Brady Neal, who's a transfer, came over from LSU. So he's going to be the guy that's going to run out there on Friday night, but it's going to be really both dudes. Will Plattner will be right behind him. And it's going to be kind of committee. It's a great situation to have. You got one left-handed hitter, one right-handed hitter. Both have the ability to play multiple positions and do some different things offensively. So we feel really good there. A little bit thinner than maybe I'd want. We lost Luke Vaughn in the fall to an injury, so we'll be without him this year. So down to 2, but those are 2 tough ones, and we're excited to roll with them.
So they lead the infield. Let's go around the horn to first base, first of all.
Yeah, I think this is where the strength of this team a little bit. There's a lot of moving pieces. Obviously, Hodo played first for us every day last year. Doe's going to be right in the middle of the lineup for us. I mean, I think he's going to hit in the 3-hole. It's, does he play first? Does he DH? Does he play some corner outfield? I think he has the ability to do some different things. So, Friday night, I think you'll see him either at first or the DH spot. I think the other guy over there is Jason Torres. Our transfer from Miami. He was coming off an injury this past fall, but is back healthy and he's been an animal this spring. It's been awesome. His preseason has been dynamite. He's going to hit in the 4-hole for us. It's a physical right-handed bat. Bat to ball is really good. Play discipline's elite. But same thing. He has the ability to slide over and play third base as well. So I think you'll see, mainly Doe and Torres over at first. And then we have a couple young pups that we've been getting some reps over there. Garrett Staten in a pinch has the ability to slide over there. So a lot of our infield save kind of our superstar stand over at short's got a lot of jack of all trades to him, which is huge.
Yeah, let's go to him next. Justin LeBron, tremendous freshman campaign. How much is that going to help him as he continues to develop and grow into one of the best players in the SEC?
Yeah, I mean, Justin's one of the best players in the country. I mean, there's no question. I think the big thing you want to see is, how do they respond to success? And Justin's hit every mark along this way. He's been great this fall. He's grown a lot in some of his leadership, really taken our young freshman, John Young Jr., under his wing a little bit and has really helped John grow into the player he's becoming. So we're seeing some of that, and now the test comes. Now the season starts. Justin kind of we were very fortunate that guy didn't really have that 0 for 20 in the middle of the year last year. I mean, it feel like every game he was good. But chances are in this game you play it long enough, you're going to have it. So how does he continue being this maturely? I have zero doubt about the way he'll handle it, but we're fortunate one stands out at short for us.
Yeah, he certainly does. And then how about some of the options at second and third? We know that can be kind of interchangeable based on the matchup, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think Brennan Norton's probably going to get the run out there on Friday. Just a fire hydrant, physical, electric bat speed. I mean, he hits balls as hard as any kid I've been around. And, man, his demeanor is awesome. It's an edge like we talked about, but he also doesn't grip it too tight. I think his perspective, I mean, it sounds corny, but his perspective on life is just really mature. He's like telling me the other day, like, man, it don't matter. We're just a speck of dust. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. But let's go hammer some baseballs today. But Brennan's been great. Played a lot of third at Jack State. We've transitioned him to second. He's done a great job there for us. Garrett Staten, kind of same thing over at third base. Played some second base early in his career at Sanford. I think we'll probably start over at third, but has the ability to slide over to second and be very good there as well. So those two kind of interchangeable there with the addition of a guy like John Young in there, our young freshman that, man, I don't know what his role is going to be yet this year, but I'm going to be shocked if that guy is not involved in some way, shape, or form as this year continues to go on. And really, really fired up for him. But those are kind of some of the guys in the mix. JoJo Williamson, young kid from Hartselle. JoJo's had a great preseason and swung the bat well and could get some nods over second base as well.
And then how about in the outfield? Once again, you have a lot of good options out there.
Yeah, one thing we really wanted to do is just be more athletic in the outfield. We had McCants last year who did a great job in center for us. We had Ian who really hit. And then we had just a very steady guy in Evan slide over and right. But I never felt like part of being really good defenders is not just making the routine play. It's actually taking runs off the board with your defense. And I don't know how much we did that last year, just in a lot of places. But we really wanted to upgrade that in the outfield. And I think we've done a great job. I think Richie Bonamalo is going to round out in center as a JUCO transfer from Wabash, can really, really go get the baseball. Right field's going to be Bryce Fowler, another JUCO transfer, was committed to go over to Campbell and play. And they had a coaching change. And we ended up scooping him up, and he brings it all to it. He's going to lead off for us. It's left-handed, it's tough, it's all of those things. So you have those guys, then our captain Kate Snell standing out in the left. So I think there's a little bit more dynamic playmaking in the outfield. Not that we were bad in the outfield, but I think this group has a chance to take a few more runs off the board out there, which is going to be huge in this league.
You mentioned Cade Snell as the captain of this team. He's going to wear the jersey number 3. What makes him the perfect man to be the captain for this year's team?
Just a lot. I mean, I think one thing that I think is unique is his perspective of the guy pitched for us last year too. He's a position player only this year, but he's been on the mound in an SEC game as an arm. He's been in the box in an SEC game as a hitter, and I think there's an interesting perspective that comes from that. But being the captain ain't easy. I think everybody loves the idea of wearing 3, and it's cool and it feels cool, but man, leadership can be tough, and it can be lonely, and it can be, especially when maybe you're not performing at your best all the time, it can be really tough to feel like you can hold guys accountable. And we felt like Cade had the maturity to handle that. You talk about toughness too, man. Like I remember last year we're at the Tallahassee Regional, and Cade's back was a disaster last year late in the year. He had hurt it, and he was kind of grinding through it. And I watched him lean over to pick a bat up at home plate. And he had to squat down with his legs because he literally couldn't bend over and pick it up. His back hurt so bad. And about 3 pitches later, he hit a homer to right. Like, that's Cade Snell. Man, he's tough. He's real. He's authentic. I think he's got a great perspective. and just felt like those boys would follow him, and he's done a great job so far.
We'll talk about the pitching staff plus the schedule for the Crimson Tide when we come back with Coach Vaughn in a moment. Hey Coach is presented by Alfa Insurance. Auto, home, life, business, Alfa Insurance covers it all. AlfaInsurance.com. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
You can find all Crimson Tide Sports Network video content online on the CTSN YouTube page. It's the home of the live courtside cam, episodes of Crimson Drive driven by NASCAR, plus Hey Coach. Our YouTube shorts will deliver thrilling Alabama radio highlights, plus interview clips from Alabama student athletes and coaches that you can't miss. Subscribe to the Crimson Tide Sports Network on YouTube for the very latest on the Alabama Crimson Tide. Hey Bama fans, this is Roger Hoover. Each Thursday at 2 p.m. Central, join us live for Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. This live streaming talk show features the latest on Alabama athletics with exclusive conversations with Tide student athletes, coaches, and media members giving their perspective on the Crimson Tide. You can watch on YouTube, Facebook, and X, with all conversations archived as well on the Alabama Insider podcast. Roll Tide with Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR.
Crimson Tide fans, this season don't lose out on your home comfort. Brown Cooling, Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical is a proud partner of Alabama Athletics and has been delivering the highest standards in home comfort across Birmingham for over 60 years. If you're looking for a great team and elite service from a quality company that cares, you can't miss with Brown in Birmingham. Score big this year with Brown Cooling, Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. Visit brownheatingandcooling.com/specials to save on your next service. Roll Tide!
DCH has a new dedicated unit especially for children. At DCH, we recognize how the entire family is affected when a child is sick, injured, or living with a chronic medical condition. Our board-certified pediatricians specialize in providing our youngest patients, from birth through adolescence, the best care appropriate to their developmental level, physically, emotionally, and psychologically. DCH Pediatrics, making a big difference in little lives.
1225 is your ultimate game day destination. Catch the game on one of their 35 big screen high-def TVs, combined with an extensive menu of mouth-watering food and refreshing drinks. Juicy burgers, crispy wings, craft beers, signature cocktails. 1225, where the energy is high, the screens are massive, and the excitement is contagious. Visit 1225 on the Strip in Tuscaloosa, less than 2 blocks from Bryant-Denny Stadium. 1225 Sports Bar, where sports, food, and fun collide.
Tired of being just another patient at your chain pharmacy? Make the switch to Payless Drugs. With 5 convenient locations in Bessemer, Birmingham, Fairfield, Morris, and Springfield, our knowledgeable team can provide personalized medication reviews and supplement recommendations, deliver medications to your door, and more. Visit mypaylessdrugs.com to transfer today. We're just what the doctor ordered.
Continuing our conversation with Alabama baseball head coach Rob Vaughn. Our next question brought to you by Alabama 811. To help prevent injuries, outages, and loss of life, call 811 or visit al811.com. Before you dig, it is free, it's simple, and it's the law. Coach, we've talked plenty about the hitters, and you were just telling me in the commercial break the pitchers have been doing really well all throughout, even going back to the fall and what we've seen the last few weeks.
Yeah, and I looked up the other day. I'm like, we either really stink offensively or we got some dudes on the mound, and man, it is. It's JJ's done such a great job. Him and Mo kind of both work with those arms and not only recruiting the right guys, but I think we have some different looks. You know, we've got the low slot left, low slot right. You got, you know, some guys that have developed some secondary stuff that can be a weapon a little bit that's maybe a little different than what they've had in the past. And, man, there's a lot of looks. There's a lot of velo. I mean, shoot, Q's 11 and a half months out of TJ, and his average fastball's touching 99 right now. So there's some stuff. So it's a fun group to get to work with.
Have really starters started to identify themselves at this point of the year, or are you still kind of evaluating everything before you make any determinations, not just for this weekend or midweek starters, but who some of those options to start games will be?
Yeah, you know, the good thing is I think our guys have made it tough on us. You know, there's a handful of guys, very honestly, that, you know, we didn't know kind of if they would be on the roster or not, that have turned themselves not only into making the roster, but into bona fide guys, so that's a great problem to have. The one thing I think we feel very confident, Zane Adams is going to go out on Friday. Q will go out, Quick will go out on Saturday, so we'll start those two Friday, Saturday. Still talking about Sunday, I think there's a couple guys in the mix. Bobby Alcock has been unbelievable in the preseason. Just a cool story, man, a guy that had an injury last year, missed basically the whole year, and we didn't know what was going to be coming back. I mean, he had a shoulder issue, and a lot of guys don't come back from that. Not only did he come back, but he's come back and worked himself into a potential starter for us. Riley talked about him earlier, JT Blackwood, another JUCO kid that it's pitchability, it's stuff. It's 92, 93 with a really good cutter, feel for a changeup, plus fastball command. So those guys are in there. Tyler Fay, a familiar name from around here, has continued to grow and get better. Bo Bryan's a left-handed option that's just power stuff. I mean, it'll run up to 96 from a low slot from the left side. So we have some options for that third spot and the midweek spot. And shoot, some of these midweek teams we play these first few weeks, I mean, you can argue might be better than some of the weekend guys. So just kind of be strategic about how we do that. So we know we're going to go Zane Friday, Q Saturday, and then we'll kind of play it by ear from there. Probably decide here in the next day or so.
And then in the bullpen, who could we see maybe in late-game situations? We hope there's some high-scoring games. It's not too close coming up this weekend against Bradley, but game on the line, who are you trusting right now?
I mean, right now I think our closers, Carson Osmer, transfer from Penn. Man, he's everything you want. And just a human being on your team because he's a great kid. Turned down money in the draft to come to school here. Had got drafted or would have gotten drafted and signed and said, no, I'm going to Alabama. And he's it's maturity, it's poise, it'll be low 90s from the left or from the low slot right side. Can run it up to the mid 90s over the top. So he's probably the guy at the end of the game that we're flipping the ball to go get the last 3 outs. But, man, a guy like Braylon Myers is really taking a step. Braylon had an unbelievable year last year. I mean, numbers were elite, pitched at 2. Guys that know Braylon, he's the best of the best. Like, unbelievable kid. And he's really started to see some stuff tick up. I mean, it was 88 to 90 most of the time last year, maybe touching 91. He's been sitting 92, 93 up to 94. So, you take his command and the stuff ticks up, man, that's a leverage-type guy. Same thing with Colson Buchanan. Pitched for us last year, but was kind of lost in his identity. Threw a lot of cutters, a lot of changeups, and realistically, the breaking ball was his best pitch and kind of got back to throwing that thing, and it's a weapon for him out of the pen now. So those are some guys, Austin Morris, same thing last year, some guys that you could see in those high-leverage situations, and I would love for none of them to be high leverage early on, but you and I both know we're going to be in a tight one here in the 7th at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't let you go without asking about base running. Riley Quick brought that up.
Yeah, Riley's going to be in trouble tomorrow.
Kangaroo court coming.
No, we try to set the record on Saturday during Fan Day, mind you. We try to set the record for how many times we could get picked off base. We had a guy get picked off second. We had 3 consecutive guys get picked off by the same guy at first base, which I'd never quite seen that before. So the post-game meeting with me that day was not very good for our base runners. So we will get that fixed, Riley. Don't you worry.
We got to steal some bases this year?
We're going to run a little bit more this year. And I think that's personnel. We just didn't have the personnel to do that last year. I think your offense just kind of really blends with your personnel. Last year, Gage Miller couldn't run, but that guy could hit it a country mile, so we let him go line up and hit. Whereas this year, I think you have the ability to do that. I think Richie Bonamalo, Justin LeBron, Hodo can really run. Garrett Staten, Bryce Fowler. I think you start looking at 5 of the 9 guys in that lineup should be able to create and do some things. Brady Neal's one of the most athletic catchers in the country. So I think we should have the ability to create chaos, and that's what we want. I want to be able to beat you in different ways. I want to line up and slug when we need to, and I want to create when we need to, and I think this team is built to do both.
Coach, can't wait for what's coming up. Opening day on Friday at the Joe. Games on Saturday, Sunday as well against Bradley. Some midweeks next week. Just thank you for the time you've given us. Looking forward to the ride that we're going to go on this season. But thank you for your time. Roll Tide.
Heck yeah, Roll Tide.
That's the head coach of the Crimson Tide, Rob Vaughn. Opening day coming up on Friday. You're listening to Hey Coach. It's presented by Alfa Insurance, Auto, Home, Life, and Business. Alfa Insurance covers it all. AlfaInsurance.com. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
I'm Coach Nate Oats, and this is the Ford F-Series Highlight Show. Talk about an outstanding lineup. Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty deliver impressive power and game-changing capability. That's why I'm a fan of Ford F-Series, America's best-selling truck for 47 consecutive years. For the latest offers on a Ford truck, go to buyfordnow.com or visit your local Ford dealer. Proud sponsor of the Crimson Tide. Roll Tide.
Based on 1977 to 2023 CY industry reported total sales.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End of friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you're planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Don't stop planning for your future. Don't stop investing in your kids' education. Don't stop dreaming of that new home. And don't stop growing your business. Whatever you're passionate or dreaming about, don't stop. Because when you have a bank you can trust, you have the confidence to take on tomorrow. Speak with a Trustmark associate today for advice on achieving your goals. Trustmark. People you trust. Advice that works. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You know that feeling when you're doing what you love? You're in the zone, truly and fully alive, lost in thought. You know what you're not thinking about? Insurance. That's where Alfa comes in. Alfa handles all things insurance, so you're free to do anything. So get out there and live your best life. Whatever your thing is, we've got you covered. That's life with Alfa Insurance. Visit alfainsurance.com to learn more.
Producing championship quality lumber is not an easy process, but at Everwood Preserving, it's our only process. Wood treated right. Everwood offers top-notch pressure-treated wood for decks, outdoor structures, commercial jobs, and more that you can build your reputation on. When it comes to quality, we're on the winning team. Visit your local Everwood dealer today and discover the difference for yourself. Everwood Preserving Incorporated, the official lumber of the Alabama Crimson Tide.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Fans, you can get game ready by shopping at Alumni Hall, your ultimate Crimson Tide shopping experience. Shop Nike, and for all of your officially licensed Bama gear, head to Alumni Hall in Midtown Village or shop alumnihall.com. Receive $10 in rewards for every $150 that you spend. Check them out at alumnihall.com. Of course, Coach Oats, Chris Stewart, right now in Austin, Texas, and we'll hear from them now as they get ready for the Longhorns and the Auburn Tigers this week.
Coach, as we visit, just getting the word about the rankings, number one in one poll, number two in another. As I joked with you, proof that the coaches know more than the writers, but still it's a great honor to be there, and it just, again, makes things, I would imagine, even more of a challenge, even more of a target on the back for your team right now.
Yeah, for sure. I'll make sure our players know that we're still number two, though. So we keep them a little hungry, but you know, we've got a tough game ahead of us. If you're concerned about where you're ranked, you're probably not focused on the game ahead of you. You know, I think it's a tribute to our players and to where we've gotten the program, but all it really is now is a distraction to what we're trying to do to win games. So we've just got to focus in on what we've got to do to beat Texas, and they're good. I mean, they've got leading scorer in a conference and Trey Johnson. They've got, you know, one of the more talented teams in this league. I think their record's not as good as what their talent is. Their talent is good enough to beat anybody in this league, but for whatever reason, haven't been able to quite win, you know, as many games as maybe what they could have. So they're capable of beating anybody, and we're, you know, sitting here after a tough game with Arkansas, and got Auburn coming up. And if you're immature and you look forward to the Auburn game Saturday. This is a definite game that you could lose by not showing some maturity. So we've got to make sure our guys are super mature, really locked in to scouting report. We got to be a lot better than what we were those last 8 minutes against Arkansas. So, I thought we were pretty good for 32 minutes, but we need to get 40 minutes on Tuesday night.
One last thing I promise about the ranking and being this high. It's happened three times now in 3 years for Alabama in the program. You seem to manage this extremely well. And I understand that's your job, your responsibility as the head coach. But it's as new for you as it is, not necessarily these players other than Mark Sears, but for Alabama basketball, you had not been part of that, just like the program had only been part of it one time, and that was more than 20 years ago. How are you personally able to manage all of that, and what comes with the visibility, the position that you have, along with some great players and coaches, put this program in?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely helps us with recruiting. Players want to go to winning programs, and when you're ranked 1 or 2, like we are right now, you get more attention. I think you've got to make a concerted effort not to let the outside noise distract you from the job you're doing. And I was thinking about the other day, talking about doing film study as a head coach and all this. I watched a lot of film when I was a coach at Romulus. It's kind of what I've been doing for a long time. So let's try to not get away from who I am. I'm a high school coach that's caught a couple breaks in life. Let's just keep working. Let's look at film for the next team. Let's lock in. Let's figure out how to motivate these guys for this next game. How do we beat this next game, and just keep doing what we're doing. Don't let different, whatever it is. You guys in the media, you're part of them, Chris. You guys in the media that want more of my time, and this person wants more of this and more. Let's keep the main thing the main thing. Let's coach this team while, part of being a head coach of a program like this is building your program up and promoting and all that. So let's take advantage of those opportunities we have without losing sight of what we really have to do, and that's coach this team and continue to build this program for the future.
Quick look back. Some great, some not so great against Arkansas, but still able to get the job done. Now that you've had a chance to break things down from that, your assessment of what we saw.
Yeah, look, we looked at the whole game. So we had held them to a .92 for the first 32 minutes of that game. And then they were over a 1.7 the last 8. So defensively fell apart once we got that 18-point lead. But part of the issue was our offense led to some easy buckets for them. So defense was bad, but the offense was also bad. And we were well over a 1.2 the first 32 minutes of the game, and then we were 0.8 something the last 8 minutes of the game on offense. So both sides of the ball fell apart in the last 8 minutes of the game. So we've got to take care of the ball better. The turnovers that led to their easy buckets, we got to take better shots. We got shots blocked that led to easy buckets on the other end. And then we've got to just be more locked into the scouting report and be a little tougher. We give up free throw, rebound on our defensive end that we don't typically give up. The threes we gave up, we got to do a better job. It wasn't just one thing. It's not like our postie or our pick and roll defense or this or that. It was a little bit of everything. So, and when it's a little bit of everything, to me, it's a big lack of focus all of a sudden. So you get an 18-point lead against a good team on the road and you lose focus, it falls apart like it did. Now, we've practiced enough into game stuff. We have enough guys with veteran experience that we were still able to pull away with a win, even though they cut it to 3. I mean, it went from 18 with 6.5 minutes to go in that game to 3 with about 3 minutes to go in that game. So in a span of 3.5 minutes, they cut 15 points off the lead, which is not good. But the last 3 minutes of the game, we were able to hold on and win the game. So we made some good plays. We got some experience being in a tight game, even though I wish we hadn't been in a tight game. So there's some positives to look at it, but we got to clean up a lot of that stuff in, about a 4 or 5 minute stretch there.
We talk a lot about the depth on the team, but also the flexibility and the versatility you have. If you take Clifford Amore off the floor and you go smaller with Mohamed Diabate, how rare is it that you're able to go smaller and yet not really lose anything in terms of toughness and the ability to defend with a player like Diabate?
Yeah, I mean, he's multidimensional. Like you said, he can guard guards, bigs. He's tough. His offense has gotten better. He was part of that run we gave up. So I've been on him a little bit because he is a tough guy, but he gave up the old board at the free throw line. Right. He had the turnover that led to the 2 free throws so he is tough. We've got to keep him locked in, really locked into the scouting report. But he's got a knack for making winning plays. He also was the one that got the rebound after we missed the free throw and knocked it off their leg. So the stuff he screwed up, he came in later and made a big play, and he's made big plays like that in multiple games. So he's got a knack for making big plays, tough plays, being able to guard. We do give up some size we played him at some small ball 5, but the toughness makes up for the size. He's not the best shooter. But, man, he's so tough finishing at the rim. Like, even if you sag him for non-shooting, he still gets downhill to the rim and finishes. So his positives definitely outweigh his negatives by a long shot, but we just got to get him healthy. He was a little banged up, and we just got to get him really focused in on doing the right things in there.
Finally, Texas, a team that's not where they want to be record-wise, but obviously from what we saw against a really good Texas A&M team, very, very dangerous. Give us the scout on the Longhorns.
Yeah, they're talented. They got the leading scorer in the league in Trey Johnson. They've got Tremont Mark that was at Houston, so we're familiar with them. He can shoot it. Pope can really shoot it. Kaluma's shooting a high percentage. They got better shooting on the floor from more positions than what Arkansas had. Their bigs are shot blockers. They didn't throw it in the post as much. But their guards are talented. Their bigs are talented, too. They just aren't really low post threats as much. So biggest key is we got to do a really good job with Trey Johnson, a freshman that's leading the league in scoring. So he's number one, but keeping those other shooters off the line are big. And then we've got to take care of the ball on our offensive end and keep them out of transition. If we can keep them out of transition, they play a lot of isolation basketball with their talented players. We got to do a great job guarding them in ISO situations and then take care of the ball on our offensive end, because I do think we can get on the offensive boards if we get quality shots up, which we've had an issue with a little bit here lately.
I know it's media guys like me, you don't like taking time away to talk to, but do appreciate you spending a few minutes on your radio show tonight. Thanks so much, and good luck tomorrow night.
You're definitely part of the media. I know you travel with us, but you're going to try to fill our guys with you're number one, you're this, you're number two. So maybe you can give a little coach speak to the guys instead of kissing their butt with how good they are all the time. But appreciate you having me on your show, Chris. Roll Tide.
It's always great to be on with you on the Nate Oats Show, Coach.
Hey, Coach, and the Nate Oats Show, presented by Alfa Insurance. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Each Monday night, join us for Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance. Live at 6 p.m. Central from Baumhower's Victory Grille in Tuscaloosa. We'll talk Alabama athletics with Tide coaches and players, plus take your calls. Hey Coach is available to listen to across our radio network, the Varsity Network app, as well as a video stream on all CTSN social media platforms at UA_CTSN. Hey Coach, Mondays at 6 p.m. on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. See the call as we make the call. Watch the Courtside Cam, presented by NASCAR, for each Alabama home basketball game. Streaming live on all CTSN social media platforms, you can get a front row seat to every big play and every reaction from the Alabama radio crew for men's and women's basketball. Watch on YouTube, Facebook, and X at UA_CTSN.
Wide open 9, left corner 3. Switch!
Hey, Alabama, celebrate with JMF Solutions. With nearly 2 decades of innovation, JMF proudly announces its $6.3 million award for Alabama's middle mile broadband projects. But wait, there's more. Introducing Prestige HealthNet, revolutionizing hospital IT services. Prestige brings professional solutions to rural hospitals, saving costs and elevating healthcare standards. Visit PrestigeHealthNet.com or call 251-517-4411 to learn more. JMF Solutions and Prestige HealthNet, building a brighter future for Alabama together.
Guthrie's Golden Fried Chicken Fingers, an Alabama tailgate tradition. Founded in Haleyville, Alabama in 1965, Guthrie's has been a Bama fan favorite for years. From your hometown to college towns all around, Guthrie's is still serving the family's original Southern fried chicken recipe just like always, fresh, hot, and fast. Make Guthrie's Golden Fried Chicken Fingers the MVP of your next tailgate. Guthrie's, America's original chicken finger restaurant and now an official partner of the Alabama Crimson Tide. For franchise information, visit Guthrie'sChicken.com.
Today's highlight is brought to you by Toyota. At home or on the road, they're never the underdog. Toyota. Let's go places. Get 2.99% APR for 36 months on a new 2024 Toyota Tacoma Hybrid. Offer valid through March 3rd, 2025. Zero down for well-qualified buyers with approved credit and financing through Southeast Toyota Finance. $29.08 monthly payment for every $1,000 finance. Excludes tax, tag, registration, title, and dealer fees. See dealer for details.
Sports bring us together. The sickness can keep us apart. Don't miss out on what matters most. Vaccines help keep you in the stands while we are on the court.
And the jam by Terry Reed.
Staying up to date on your vaccines, including for respiratory viruses, keeps you in the game, protecting yourself and those around you. Be here, be healthy. Visit alabamapublichealth.gov/IMM for more information.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Guthrie's Golden Fried Chicken Fingers, an Alabama tailgate tradition. Founded in Haleyville, Alabama in 1965, Guthrie's has been a Bama fan favorite for years. From your hometown to college towns all around, Guthrie's is still serving the family's original Southern fried chicken recipe just like always, fresh, hot, and fast. Make Guthrie's Golden Fried Chicken Fingers the MVP of your next tailgate. Guthrie's, America's original chicken finger restaurant and now an official partner of the Alabama Crimson Tide. For franchise information, visit Guthrie'sChicken.com.
Does it for tonight's Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance. Good night from Baumhower's Victory Grille in Tuscaloosa and Roll Tide.
Live from Baumhower's Victory Grille in